Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our absolutely beautiful weather window from this afternoon. This is our monitor camera pointed towards the upper Wenatchee Valley. You can see the beautiful orchards and cashmere about the middle part of your screen there, and just crystal clear skies throughout north central Washington today, and that allowed our temperatures to get very, very warm today. In fact, most of us about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Yeah, there you have it. That was our high temperature today too, unofficially 81 degrees. We're headed for about 78 tomorrow, and then a bit of a cool down on Thursday, but still nice at about 74. But after that, big changes to tell you about as we get especially into the weekend. Showers will begin Friday night and then widespread rain throughout the state of Washington on Saturday. More showers Sunday and Monday too, and we'll tell you more about that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An evicted cannabis farm in Monitor loses its appeal in a lawsuit against the landlord. The city of Twisp has received a $900,000 grant for its sewer infrastructure, and Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue is mourning the loss of one of its former fire chiefs. But first, we begin tonight. Prosecutors yesterday filed criminal charges against David Saugen, the 45-year-old director of Tall Timber Ranch Church Camp. Saugen is accused of first-degree voyeurism for allegedly spying on a teen who was showering in his home, and also fourth-degree domestic violence after a family member says Saugen shoved and injured her when she confronted him. Saugen has been relieved of duties at the Christian camp, which points out the charges aren't related to his work there. He's been held in Chelan County Jail since his arrest on Wednesday and faces arraignment next week. A former cannabis farm that once operated in Monitor has lost a lawsuit against its landlord. Poorman Enterprises rented the interior and rooftop of a former fruit warehouse, but when Chelan County changed its rules on marijuana farming, the business became ineligible to operate. The building owner evicted the operator in 2016, and a Chelan County judge said the eviction was justified because Poorman failed to get the necessary permits for its business. The State Court of Appeals today upheld that finding. Poorman ceased business in 2018, one of several local cannabis operations to expire since they became legal in 2012. Well, in other news, rural towns are getting a state windfall to help with infrastructure projects, including Twisp and Soap Lake. Community development block grants funneled through the State Department of Commerce will pay $897,000 towards a Soap Lake water system improvement and $900,000 for sewer work in Twisp. The grants are part of a $10.8 million package of federal money earmarked for rural communities. Other funded projects are in Mattawa, Riverside, Royal City, and Wilbur. Well, as we go to break, Lake Wenatchee and Fire and Rescue is mourning the loss of one of its own with the passing of William Bill Mitchell on Monday. Mitchell was the former Ponderosa fire chief as well as a retired Navy captain. After his retirement, he and his wife remained steadfast supporters of the fire district. No details have yet been announced on services for Mitchell. Well, coming up next, Douglas County Commissioners say Will Carpenter deserves a pat on the back. We'll tell you why. Some celebrity names have stepped up to contribute to north central Washington's efforts to battle wildfire and recover from it. And Chelan County Public Works is sending out its thanks to the people who have been keeping a stretch of county road near Plain litter-free for almost 20 years. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbiss here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today, 509-663-7900.
Here's to 5 billion miles of amazing. 5 billion miles of...
This is so cool.
5 billion miles of helping you stay safe. 5 billion miles of passing the pump. 5 billion miles of... That's 5 billion miles driven around the world. The all-electric 2020 Nissan Leaf.
The extended range 2020 Leaf is now available at Town Nissan, right behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Hope, oxygen to your soul, color in your world, a light to your future.
Difficult to qualify and quantify,
yet you know when it's lacking.
So many things have promised us hope,
but have left us feeling hopeless and empty.
Real hope is able to stand firm even on the darkest day of the soul and still say with the prophet Jeremiah,
"For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you.
Plans to give you a hope and a future."
The Apostle Paul declared to a young church in Rome,
"May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace
as you trust in him,
so that you may overflow with hope
by the power of the Holy Spirit."
If our God is a God of hope, then maybe it's your turn to experience a hope that cannot be shaken
nor destroyed.
And maybe it's time to hope again.
Maybe it's time to become a generation of hope.
What if the same God that raised Christ Jesus from the dead
can resurrect your hope?
Maybe it's time to hope again.
Welcome back. In another news, Douglas County Commissioners say Will Carpenter deserves a pat on the back. The commissioners yesterday issued a formal proclamation thanking Carpenter, the director of the Chelan-Douglas Horticultural Pest and Disease Board, for tracking down maggot-infested apples brought to the county by Governor Jay Inslee. Inslee bestowed the apples as gifts to fire victims in the Bridgeport area, violating the state's own apple maggot quarantine rules. He later apologized and made contributions to local food banks instead. Carpenter managed to round up all the errant fruit before his infestation could spread to Douglas County orchards. Well, some celebrity names have stepped up to contribute to North Central Washington's efforts to battle wildfire and recover from it. The Gary Sinise Foundation, created by the popular actor to aid veterans and first responders, last week donated more than 550 care packages for volunteer firefighters throughout Okanogan County. The foundation and American Airlines partnered in the gift, which will be distributed by Douglas Okanogan Fire District 15 in Brewster. Next, Metallica gave big through their charitable foundation, All Within My Hands, offering a $25,000 fire relief grant to the Community Foundation of North Central Washington, right here in Wenatchee. That will go toward the NCW Fire Relief Fund, operated by the local foundation for about the last 5 years. Chelan County Public Works is sending out its thanks to the people who have been keeping a stretch of county road near Plain litter-free for almost 20 years. The Collins family and friends adopted a 2-mile stretch of Beaver Valley Road back in 2001. Kim Collins on the right and Rhonda Beth Lawrence recently posed for a photo just like they did back in 2001. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Why run all over town when you can get the financial services you need under one roof? The location is 521 Chelan Street right here in Wenatchee. Accounting solutions for success. Insurance from trusted choices. Real estate, the power of the edge. Personal, professional, preferable. It's all right here. Get the edge on your financial needs. Now available in Chelan as well. Get more information at augustedge.com.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Well, the Wenatchee School District is set to begin getting students back in classrooms soon, and free self-administered COVID-19 testing this week in Wenatchee will play a key role in that. The community-wide testing started today and continues through Friday at Wenatchee High School. Cascade School District in Leavenworth was granted permission this week to resume some classroom instruction for younger students based on similar community testing. In tonight's feature story, Wenatchee Superintendent Paul Gordon told Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz today that his district is hoping to follow suit. The full interview with Dr. Gordon will air on Wednesday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Cascade and a number of other smaller communities have had this similar testing, this prevalence testing within their community. So it indicated that it roughly is about 1% to 2% of COVID within their community. So the medical experts felt like it was safe for them to open. And we work with all the superintendents on the east side, but mainly with the Chelan-Douglas County group. And collectively, we feel like starting with our youngest, as you said, our preschoolers through second. Some are looking at that preschool through fourth grade, but all of us really wanting to try to begin our instruction there. Our announcement date won't be until after we have the results back. And hopefully, we have a large number of community members who go out. Again, free testing at Wenatchee High School from 1 to 7, today through Friday. And we get back the results that indicate, like the other communities, that our COVID, the percentage COVID within our community is lower than what we're seeing through the incident testing.
All right, time now for a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast, and there's a lot to get to. But before we do that, how about another beautiful look outside our weather window, looking down from our monitor Sky-Fi tower camera at Cashmere right here, and the orchards in the foreground. Beautiful blue sky above the Cascades today, and lots of that bright blue, bright sunshine out there today. Beautiful blue skies, if I can say it. But it was a nice day out there all across North Central Washington. Unofficially, high temperatures today, check that out, 82 degrees in the Wenatchee area, 15 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 67. Overnight low temperature 54 this morning, and that's just about 9 degrees above where we should be. Do you remember 2014? That's our record high year, 90 degrees. That would have been 23 degrees above our normal high temperature back in 2014. Record low 34 in 1974. Sunrise now at 7:08. Sun will set tonight before 6:30 at 6:29. Let's take a peek now at how your hump day Wednesday will shape up weather-wise, and don't expect a lot of changes as we get into our Wednesday forecast. We're still going to see lots of sunshine out there. Temperatures a lot like today, maybe a few degrees cooler. Upper 70s, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. About 78 for the high temperature here in Wenatchee. Also Eniat and Chelan tomorrow. Leavenworth 76, and Lake Wenatchee, beautiful place to be tomorrow at 72 degrees. Taking a look at our surface loop now tonight, we do expect mostly clear skies. Our weather still being dominated by that large area of high pressure that continues to bring all that warmth into Washington State. But at the same time, that frontal boundary from an area of low pressure is beginning to break that high down, and we'll begin to see that just a little bit tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. So a few high clouds tomorrow, but we are going to stay unseasonably warm. Remember that orange color as temperatures near near 80 degrees, and most of us should see that. By Thursday, an increase in clouds, especially in the western part of the state, slightly cooler too and mild. Here's our first weather maker right here. It's going to slide up to the northwestern part of Washington and then get connected to an even larger low pressure area as we get into Friday. Increasing clouds throughout the day. We'll just call it mostly cloudy for Friday, and a 50% chance for mainly evening showers on Friday. And then this storm system comes in with a vengeance. Here's a great look at our frontal boundary. All the wind behind that. We'll see that in western Washington, but look at the widespread rain that we do expect in Washington state on Saturday. It will be much cooler too, ushering in that cooler air. For Sunday, this thing will wrap up even a little bit tighter. We're not ruling out some showers on Sunday either, with 30% chance of mainly evening showers. Mostly cloudy on Sunday with high temperatures in the mid-60s. And as we start off our next work week, a series of storm systems going to move in on us throughout next week as well. We'll see a 30% chance of rain and unseasonably cool. We're talking temperatures only in the upper 50s to lower 60s. These blue areas in Montana and portions of the Cascades, 40s and 50s, and we're talking high temperatures. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. Tonight we will drop down to a very mild 56. Another nice one for Wednesday. Mostly sunny and 78. And then our clouds begin to move in a little bit on Thursday. Partly cloudy. It will be noticeably cooler. 75 maybe for Thursday. 71 Friday. A 50% chance of evening rain. And then get the umbrellas out on Saturday. Rain likely throughout the day and cooler as our temperatures drop down into the 60s. We'll keep about a 30% chance of rain on both Sunday and Monday. 64 Sunday and only 61 the high temperature on Monday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I have fiber at home because it allows me to do a great job in my profession. It allows me to learn things that I need to learn at home. It allows my kids to hopefully one day be able to be educated because of what they learned online and what they learned from their teachers. And it allows us to have fun too as a family. And we're able to do a lot of things because of fiber internet. I'm Rudy, and my family learns with fiber.
The 2021 models are arriving at Sangster Motors. General Motors is on the move with the all-new 2021 Yukon. Yukon is redesigned from the ground up with a bold new look and all the latest technology. Also new is the Canyon AT4 pickup. This off-road equipped mid-size truck will challenge any rival for performance and value. Both of these models will offer Duramax diesel options for maximum power and economy. The American Challenge is game on at Sangster Motors now.
What is it to be a volunteer firefighter? Is it the gear, the training, the vehicles you learn to drive, the honor of protecting your community? Time, energy, sweat, sometimes blood and even tears. Every call may not be a victory. Sometimes you'll walk away wondering if you helped at all. But sometimes you will be a hero.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show will bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. A cloud of uncertainty greets a new season for the Wenatchee Wild. While Chelan County remains in a COVID-restricted reopening phase, the rest of the BCHL is already playing games. Players on this year's Wild team arrive next week to begin training camp for a season that's still up in the air. In the middle of it all is new head coach Chris Clark. After 11 seasons as an assistant, Clarkey now takes over as head coach. He was named that position in September. He said they approached the offseason as usual.
You know what, for me, I just come to work every day and I know what I have to get done, and obviously I'm very excited to be named head coach, But, in the off season, it's about work. Everybody wears many different hats. Everybody does many different things. Everybody pulls together for a common goal. Is to get ready for the regular season. So it was business as usual, obviously different because of COVID, but it was business as usual. Bliss, Lee, and myself worked together closely throughout the entire off season to put the best product we can on the ice, and we've worked together. And obviously I'm very fortunate and very lucky to have the opportunity to be head coach of this hockey team, and I'm extremely excited about that. But as far as the off season goes, it was business as usual, doing what we can. Obviously, different, but in the same. We know the three of us have been working together a long time now. We know what needs to get done in the off season, and we've been just working at that.
Now, the rest of the league has been training for weeks and began exhibition games last weekend. Meanwhile, the Wild will begin camp on Monday. Coach Clark says he's actually excited to have such an extended time frame to prepare his team.
As a coach, it's all about developing players, and obviously winning is another part of it. But, we get our greatest happiness, I guess, in watching the players developed. And for us as coaches to be able to have 7 weeks to help these kids improve, not only on the ice but in the gym, that's huge. You very rarely get that. Usually it's a 2-week training camp and then the regular season starts and away you go. For our kids to have 7 weeks just to develop and not really worry about the highs and lows of wins and losses, I think that's huge. I think it's going to be extremely beneficial to our kids, and I know they're excited for that extra training time. And for a 16 to 20-year-old to get an extra 7 weeks in the gym it's massive. I think you can do a lot of good things in that 7 weeks, and we anticipate that our kids will have that.
Now, Clark says he has the advantage of being with the Wild since its inception in 2008 and has tuteled under 3 great coaches. He says his style of hockey will be very familiar to Wenatchee fans.
You obviously have to be your own person. I can't be Bliss Littler, I can't be John Buchanan, I can't be Paul Baxter, 3 unbelievable coaches that have coached here before me. But what I can do is take things that I've learned from all 3 of them. One thing I can tell you that we will play just like we did with Bliss is we're going to be fast. We like to get up and down the ice. You watch the NHL playoffs, it's extremely fast. You got to make plays, you got to be able to score goals, and that part will remain the same. But then, the nice part for me is I've gotten selfishly to work with 3 unbelievable hockey coaches. And so I get to take a little bit of everything I've learned from all them, people I've learned from in the past when I was a player. So there'll be obviously some new things that I like to do, but one thing will remain the same, is that we're going to play fast and we're going to make plays.
We'll have more on our conversation with Chris Clark coming up tomorrow here on NCWLIFE, while scheduled to begin the BCHL season, fingers crossed, on December 4th. Well, speaking of coaching, Coach Pete Carroll has been at the helm of the Seahawks since 2010. In those 11 seasons, 191 games, only once had Seattle ever played an entire penalty-free football game, and that was last Sunday. He says he'd like to see that trend continue.
We were so bad here a few weeks ago that, I made the point, let's just get to average, and challenge the guys to see if we can get in the middle somewhere. We jumped all the way in the top 10 here, so we're excited about that in terms of penalties, It's a really important part of the game for just playing really clean football. It makes you hard to beat when you don't make those kinds of mistakes, I would say that this is a new day in officiating. It feels different, and I really like it. They're letting us play, and the game is flowing well. I think there's just a clear, a clear sense that you got to do something egregious, and if you do, then they're going to get you, and if you don't, then we're playing on. And so I like that. Like I've said before, I like that when the officials have that kind of influence in the game in that manner, where they don't over-influence it, so I like it. Hope we can keep going.
Another even larger learning curve for the Seahawks, as well as the rest of the NFL, regards COVID-19. We saw several Tennessee players test positive, as well as quarterback Cam Newton with the Patriots. Coach Carroll says his team works hard on maintaining that bubble.
There's nobody more diligent about wearing his mask than Russell. He's been great at it. He wears it to practice. He's going up and down with his thing all the time, in the huddle and out of the huddle and all that stuff. He's been really diligent about it. So we're working hard to try to protect, and by doing a great job across the board in general for everybody, because it doesn't happen to be just the quarterback. But I think this is a remarkable instance for us to watch and to see how they did this, because for New England to have their quarterback get sick and nobody else gets sick is incredibly well done. And you know, as a matter of fact, I sent a message to Coach Belichick to talk to him about it. We hadn't had a chance to visit yet, how they got that done, because that's, you know, being right in the middle of all of everything, you know, and in the huddles and all that kind of stuff, and they huddle, you know, and so that's just a remarkable job they did, and hats off to them. So we all need to learn, you know, and hopefully he'll call back and want to talk about it, because I'd like to figure out how we can make sure and have, if somebody gets sick, heaven forbid, that we can keep it so nobody else does. That's incredible.
Playing without Newton last night, Patriots fell to Kansas City 26-10. Seahawks host Minnesota this Sunday on Sunday Night Football. Let's get you up to date on baseball. The Les Schwab scoreboard for the American League Divisional Series. Alex Correa, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs to lead Houston past Oakland 10-5. A's had a 3-run lead through 3 innings on homers by Chris Davis and Sean Murphy, but couldn't hold on. Giancarlo Stanton's grand slam home run in the top of the 9th, an exclamation point for the Yankees, and a 9-3 win over Tampa Bay in Game 1 of their ALDS. New York also got home runs from Clint Frazier, Kyle Higashioka, and Aaron Judge to jump out to a 1-0 lead. Game 2 is on TBS. National League Divisional Series also got underway today in Texas. In the first game, Atlanta came from behind with a 6-run 7th inning on home runs by Travis d'Arnaud and Dansby Swanson. Game 2 tomorrow at 11:08 on the Major League Baseball Network. Dodgers and Padres playing Game 1 of their National League Divisional Series at Globe Field in Arlington. You can watch that on FS1. That's sports. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
And thank you very much, Eric. And finally tonight, we've seen elk, deer, and smaller mammals using the new wildlife crossings at Snoqualmie Pass, but nothing this far up the food chain. State DOT cameras caught a cougar in a big hurry last weekend to get through a highway underpass near milepost 61. The agency says it's an exciting milestone in creating safer conditions for animals and traffic alike on this very busy corridor. Biologists think the big cat was running so fast because of the noise from traffic above. Reminder, if you have a video of the day that you'd like to see on the NCW Life Evening News, you can message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. My guest tomorrow will be the superintendent of the Wenatchee School District, Dr. Paul Gordon, going to give us an update on where they stand on possibly getting some kids back into the classroom. We're trying to get that number down where they can actually start doing that. Will give us an update on what's going on with the free COVID testing at Wenatchee High School for anybody who wants to get tested. It's going on as we speak. Dr. Paul Gordon will give us an update on Wednesday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, plus that sunny and mild forecast, sports, and everything else you need to start your Wednesday the right way, which is the local way, which is right here. I'll Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.